Hello everyone, I am Satish Vadyar, a faculty from Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore. This is a work I did with my master's student Rangabashyam. Our work is on fast, approximate, scalable, nearest neighbor search for high dimensional data. So as we know, KNN search is highly used in many application domains, including machine learning and imaging based applications. Our work here proposes a high-performance KNN search on distributed memory platforms. Uh, the uniqueness of our work is that it is highly tuned for searching in high-dimensional, large-scale data sets, and we have shown results for scale data sets. So we use vantage point trees for partitioning data sets across processes and HNSW KNN for local search within a process. We will cover these in the background section. We also proposed a couple of optimizations, one related to one-sided communications and the other related to load balancing. With all these techniques, we demonstrated our result with a billion scale data set using 128 dimensional data on up to 8,000 cores. We performed search where k equals 10. So we did 10 and n for 10,000 queries, and we obtained a speed up of close to 10x over state of the art. And to our knowledge, ours is the first work which showed linear scaling for such large data sets. So, before going further, there are two important concepts that we need to understand. The first is related to HNSW, or Hierarchical Navigable Small World Graph. Uh, so this technique is a graph-based approach to construct an index for approximate KNN search, where the points of the data set form the nodes of a multi-layered graph, and the nodes are connected such that the greedy search on the graph translates to the KNN search on the original data set. So this HNSW graph in turn consists of layers of NSW graphs which have navigable and small world property. These are described in the paper. For now, due to the time constraints, right? So let's move. So this is how a HNSW graph is constructed. Now, all the points in the data set are used to form a NSW graph at the bottommost layer of this HNSW graph. And some of these points are promoted to the layer that is immediately above, and a NSW graph is constructed in this next layer. So this keeps repeating, where smaller and smaller subset of points are promoted to the layer above until a certain number of layers. This in turn forms the multi-layer HNSW graph. So once the HNSW graph is constructed, the searching on this HNSW graph proceeds as follows. In order to search for a query point, we start from the top layer. We perform a greedy search on a particular layer that will give rise to certain number of certain set of points in that layer, and these sets of points are used in the layer below to perform additional search. So hence this keeps going from one layer to the other layer below until the bottommost layer is reached, and finally the k nearest neighbors are returned. So because we use only certain number of layers with probability, the search complexity is order of log d, where d is the total dataset size. So hence the HNSW graph is constructed from the bottom to the top, whereas the search is performed from the top to the bottom. So that is one concept. Concept is related to vantage point trees. It is a space partitioning data structure for similarity search, very similar to KD trees. But unlike KD trees, vantage point trees uses the concept of of a point called vantage point to partition the space. So, at a given instance, once having chosen a vantage point, distance d is selected from this vantage point such that half of the points in the data set are within this distance d from the vantage point, and the other half of the points are outside the distance. So now, based on this distance, we form a sphere of radius, that particular distance d, around the vantage point, and all the points that are within the sphere form the left child of the current node, and the complementary subspace that lies outside of the sphere is chosen as the right subspace forming the right child. So once having formed a particular node, so we start with the root node, which contains all the points. So from there we divide into the left subspace and to the right subspace, forming two children. So and then this proceeds recursively, forming a binary tree, and this binary tree is the vantage point tree. Having constructed the vantage point tree, we perform the search down this tree for a particular query as follows. At a particular node in the vantage point, there is a notion of nearest neighbor from the query point. This nearest neighbor in turn is based on the vantage point at that particular node. Now we calculate the distance d between the query point and this nearest neighbor. Using this distance d, we define a sphere of radius d around the query point. Now, if this sphere lies entirely within the left subspace of the current node, then we need to search only the left subspace and the right subspace can be proved, and vice versa. On the other hand, if the sphere intersects both the subspaces, then we need to search both the child nodes. So because of the pruning in search, the search becomes efficient. And these VP trees are generally considered to be better than KD trees because number one, it scales well with high dimensions, and these trees are also metric agnostic, whereas KD trees are usually supposed to perform better for L2 norms, L2 and L infinity norms. So for our work, we use both of these concepts, vantage point and the HNSW graph. We use the vantage point tree to recursively partition the search space until the data points for a particular partition can be accommodated within a particular compute node or a processor. And the leaves of the VP tree will now be a set of points. And we use HNSW graph to perform local computation or local search within a partition that is allocated to a particular processor core. So this is how we employ parallelization. We assume an execution environment where we have multiple nodes of multi-core processors. We have a total of P processing cores across all the nodes. We call them as P1, P2, etc. up to PP. The data set D is in turn partitioned into P partitions, right? So using vantage point tree, we call these partitions as D1, D2 up to DP. We define two functions. L of di comma q will give the results of the local query search performed by the HNSW search method for a query queue on a partition di. And we also define another function called f of q, which basically gives the set of partitions that can contain the results of the search for this particular query queue. So basically, it gives a subset of partitions for the query such that the local search on these partitions are sufficient to give the global result. Now, based on all of these notations, we employ a master worker strategy using hybrid MPI OpenMP implementation. Our master worker strategy Reads as follows. So we have this these compute nodes. Now we have this master node. So the master process on receiving a query executes f of q for a query that using the VP tree data structure. This in turn helps the master process to identify the partitions that contains the search results. So and since these partitions have been assigned to the partition cores, the master process identifies the processor cores that contain the partitions. It then sends the query to the worker process executing on those compute nodes that contain the partitions or that contain those processor cores. And within a compute node, each of the threads. So let me bring my laser pointer here. So as you can see, once the query reaches a particular compute node, one of any available thread grabs that query and performs the local HNSW search. In other words, it computes L of di comma q using OpenMP dynamic scheduling. So this way, we ensure load balance within a compute node because any thread that is available grabs the work. Once so likewise, different threads of the different partitions for this particular query on a certain set of compute nodes executes the local query search and returns the results to the master. And all of these MPI communications are non-blocking. So but before doing that search, we need to construct the VP tree. For sequential construction, the entire dataset needs to be loaded onto a single processor, but this is not possible for billion scale datasets, and hence we implemented a novel distributed version of the VP tree construction. So initially what we do is we randomly partition the data set among the different processor cores of the different compute nodes. And then every level of the VP tree is itself constructed cooperatively by all the processors. This is illustrated as follows. The distributed VP tree construction involves three steps that are performed in parallel. In the first step, all the processors collaborate to select a VP or a vantage point. In this step, each processor first forms a sample of points from all the points that are allocated to it, and then each processor calculates the moment of distances around the median of distances from the sample of points to all the points and selects a vantage point based on that. So in essence, each processor finds a local pseudo vantage point, and then these pseudo vantage points are then sent to the master processor by all the processors. The master processor using these pseudo vantage points forms the global vantage point, and then this true global vantage point is broadcasted to all the processors. Now that the processors have the global vantage point, they move to the second step. In the second step, the processors will have to find the radius of a sphere around this vantage point. In order to compute this radius, each processor calculates the median of distances of all of the points that are allocated to it from the vantage point, and we then use a distributed median of medians algorithm to find the radius of the sphere. So then, having determined this radius of the sphere, each processor can now know which of the points that it possesses belongs to the left subspace of the current node and which of the points belong to the right subspace. Having known this information, the processors do data shuffling between themselves such that the first half of the process will deal with the left subspace of the tree, and the second half of the process will deal with the right subspace. So this is achieved by data reorganization between the processors using MPI all-to-all. So now for the particular node, the child nodes are formed. This is then recursively repeated for the child nodes until all the processes are assigned a partition, a VP tree partition. For performing the query search, we follow a master worker paradigm as mentioned earlier. So the master process keeps processing the queries that it has. As long as the queries remain, for each query, it finds the partitions which will give the results. It then sends the query to the processor cores that contain the partitions and wait for the results. And once all the queries are processed, it signals the end to all the processes. The worker process, on the other hand, keeps receiving messages or the queries from the master. And when it receives a query, it performs the local query search using HNSW and sends the results to the master. We performed a couple of optimizations. So the master process can involve huge bottlenecks because it has to find out the global query result based on the local query results, and this can take time for each query. Hence, what we did is to have MPI one-sided communications where the worker process, the master process opens a window, and the worker process for a particular query accesses the master process window using MPI accumulate, and each worker process contributes to the global query result by directly accessing the master process remote memory window. The other optimization that we did was related to load balancing. While we had ensured load balancing within a compute node thanks to the dynamic OpenMP scheduling, across a node there can still be load imbalance because different nodes can end up processing different queries. In order to alleviate this load imbalance, we proposed a scheme based on replication, partition replication. So what we do is we use a replication factor where the processor cores are logically grouped into work groups. In this diagram, as you can see, three processors correspond to one work group, right? So the next three processes correspond to the next work group and so on. So the number of processor cores form in a work group, we denote that as a replication factor. Once the replication factor is decided, each data partition in a particular processor core is replicated in all the processor cores of the work group that it belongs to. So now when the master process wants to send a query, it not only sends to one particular processor that contains the partition, but it sends to the entire work group of processors in a round robin fashion. So this way the workload is evenly shared across cores. Moving on to the experimental setup, we performed all of these experiments on a Cray XE40 supercomputer involving 76 compute nodes. We used a data set, SIFT 1 billion data sets, just 1 billion data set, and we also used a deep 1 billion data set obtained from a convolution neural network. In all cases, we used L2 as the norm and K as equal to 10. So these are some of the results. We performed the experiments up to 8192 cores, and here we show 25x speed up for billion data sets on 8192 cores when compared to 256 cores, almost exhibiting linear strong. We also compared against state of the art by Patwari et al. So for the different data sets, in each of the data sets, we obtain around 10x speed up when processing 10 power 4 queries. We also, since Our method is based on approximate KNN search. We also try to evaluate the accuracy of the results using the search recall that is discussed in the paper. So we basically control this parameter M, which is used to specify the number of neighbors in the HNSW search. And then for different M, the x-axis shows the performance and the y-axis shows the recall, which is basically denotes the accuracy. And this result shows that when M is 64, we almost achieve a near perfect recall, right? So recall of 1 is basically the accurate result, and we obtain a near perfect recall in about 167. The other results presented in the paper correspond to showing that our VP tree, that our tree construction and both the VP tree and HNSW scales, that time scales linearly with increasing number of cores. And we also show that with our replication based load balancing, with the increase in the replication factor, our execution times decreased, thereby showing load balancing is. So overall, to conclude, we had presented a scalable distributed solution for approximate KNN search. We proposed two optimizations, MPI one-sided communication and load balancing based on replication. Our approach showed that our solution scales linearly and shows 10x speed up over the existing approach that uses KD trees. For our future work, we'll be using GPUs to accelerate the HNSW search. The code is available at this particular website. So thank you very much for listening. Now I'll be happy to take any questions. Thank you.